Oh my goodness. So that's the Citadel there?
Yeah, if I turn it off, you see that pitch black. There are lights down there.
Hi, we're Scott and Cindy.
Come be a ghost tourist with us.
And we'll tell you if the places are spooky or dooky.
So the lady who we shall not name hooked us up to Tomas to have him take us down on a private tour of the Citadel.
It was a disciplinary barracks, so it wasn't so much punishing as much as disciplining.
Okay.
And so here's a little model of what the original fort up here used to look like. This cell house was built on top. You can see there's a dry moat running around the fort. So that dry moat is...
Oh my goodness. So that's the Citadel there?
That's the city. Yeah, if I turn it off, you see how pitch black it is. There are lights down there.
Oh my God, we're gonna go down there.
This isn't open to the public. And that's why this
Right, that
area
door.
closed. These are not in great condition. A lot of this paint is old, lead paint, asbestos, that kind of thing. So we also don't spend a lot of time down here.
Yeah, I won't lick the walls.
So these stairs are much steeper.
Oh my goodness, right. Before we went down into the Citadel, I totally protected you and me.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for that.
That's why I wasn't listening to what he was saying. So that's why I asked a lot of questions while we were walking there. I'm sure he thought to himself, wait, I just told her. But these were jail cells too down here?
Sort of.
I thought, what is she asking?
I was trying to protect you.
So right now we would be in that dry moat. You can see against the wall the outline of the steps coming down.
Oh my goodness, right.
These were all rifle slits. Essentially, we're in this dry moat running around. Inside, that is the beginning of the fort.
Right.
These were storage units. But when they built the cell house on top, it became pitch black. They had these storage units. They put bars on them and they used it as the dungeons.
Oh.
You can also see some writing on the bricks, inmate numbers.
Oh my God,
11461, counting their days down here.
Right.
Bread and water diet, no bed, no toilet.
Oh my
just
God. So it's just this.
Yeah, just
That's
a
exactly
bucket,
how you see it, only
pretty
with
much
bars.
alone. Some inmates say that they would spend up to 20 days.
Oh, that's horrible.
And of course you saw how dark it was with the lights off.
Oh yeah,
Pitch
no.
black.
And that's how it was when they were down here, pitch black.
Yeah, pitch black.
Wow.
And you haven't had any creepy experiences down here or out there?
I have not. One of my colleagues says they have.
She said she heard a demonic voice calling her name. And she ran like a Dickens back up the stairs.
Yeah, she also said that there was several other people with her and that they heard
Yeah,
her
they heard
name
it
being
too.
called
I
too.
said,
I said,
"Hey,
hey, didn't somebody say your name?
What was that Beelzebub? I don't know why the person on the tour
That's
thought
not,
like that.
yeah, no, but we can't be joking about that.
About Beelzebub?
If I were down here alone, believe me, I'd be scared.
He didn't want to tell us anything about the creepiness of the place. Like, you could tell he was being evasive.
But at Ghost Tourist, we know what's really going on down there.
Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson of Ghost Hunters Phenomenon caught dark shadows, footsteps, and even disembodied voices, identifying himself as Harry Burnett. And Harry Burnett was a bank robber who got put on Alcatraz for his lawlessness.
I had a Harry Burnett once, but I shaved it right off. So one of the wardens was leading people on a tour of the prison when he heard a woman sobbing, and he followed it to the source and found it was coming from inside the dungeon's walls.
Okay.
And the guests heard the sobbing as well. Warden wasn't going crazy.
Okay.
And as soon as the sobbing stopped, an icy wind blew through the group.
Wow, this is massive, isn't it?
I've heard that before.
So we came down in A block. That staircase right there takes you up to D block.
Oh.
So we pretty much just walked the entire stretch of the prison from the E. And again, you see those rifle slits. So now we just step back out into that dry moat.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right. Oh.
So we pretty much.
Right. Wow. Wow, that's a long time, though.
Yeah. Actually, the island has more military history than anything. The prison was only about 30 years.
Cindy, you said you needed to use the restroom?
I looked at them like stuff in it. So go up this way?
Yeah, so now we can.
Oh yeah, these steps are crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And do you know, I think there used to be like a late night ghost tour or something like that. Do you know why that got taken away?
I don't know. I've been here roughly 6 months.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah, we also, in a weird way, owe some thanks to Hollywood. Because, Clint Eastwood, The Rock, Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage. So they brought a lot of money.
Tourism.
Yeah, tourism, but they also brought money for the production because they shot on the island. So they would, they could repaint some of the cells. The thing is that the Department of Interior for the Park Service has kind of limited funds.
Yes. That's really a shame. I hope you guys can get it back there. I mean, we don't want it to be a prison, but...
No,
Okay. All right, so my question is, if this was such a god-awful place of torture and abuse and misery, why would anybody want to come back there after they were dead?
I don't think they want to. I think they're stuck there. They need help to cross over, to know that they're free to go to the other side.
Yeah, also, some people, they were saying, can't forgive themselves for what they did in life. They don't believe they deserve to go on to another place. So there was one spirit in the basement that a psychic talked to who said his guilt was the reason he was still there. That butcher that you talked about told the psychic that he didn't believe her when she said that he could receive love and forgiveness on the other side. He just thought, no, I'll be going to hell. Even Al Capone, who was at the time going mad from venereal disease, a psychic contacted him and asked why he was still there, and he said, "This is my hell." So he believes he was trapped there and is being made to pay for his crimes against humanity. And then he played the banjo.
So on the spooky scale, we give
The Citadel.
5 out of 5. Holy! Go see Alcatraz Island.
While in San Francisco, don't forget to visit the Alcatraz gift shop. Pick yourself up a gift for a loved one, or even a souvenir of one of the most god-awful places on Earth.
Ooh.